Hey everyone, welcome back to Goals and Growth. I'm Zach, and I'm here with Emily.
Hi, it's great to be back. Today we're talking about performance reviews, those meetings where you and your manager discuss strengths, progress, and next steps. If you're new, tap subscribe so you catch every episode and feel more confident week by week.
Reviews can feel big and a little scary. I still get butterflies, and I've led reviews on both sides of the table. The goal today is simple. Make those meetings clearer, kinder, and more useful. So you leave with a plan, not stress.
Last year, I had a review where my manager opened with, "What are you proud of?" I loved that. I brought a small list of wins, like mentoring a new teammate and reducing support tickets by 18%. It helped me show my strengths without sounding like I was bragging.
I had the opposite once. My manager started with areas to improve, and I felt defensive. I took a breath and said, "Could we clarify expectations for next quarter?" Clarify just means make something clear so both people understand the same thing.
Speaking of clear, we agreed on a metric for success. A metric is simply a way to measure progress, like response time, weekly sales, or customer ratings. Some companies say KPI, which is a key performance indicator. Naming the number took away the guesswork.
Then we built an action plan. 3 steps, 1 owner, and a deadline. An action plan is a short list of tasks that move you toward the goal. Mine was shadow a senior colleague, run a trial project, and share results in a follow-up meeting.
Feedback showed up too. Feedback just means comments about your work. When it's constructive feedback, it helps you grow. I asked for support, time for training, and a template for reports, and that small support made improvement realistic.
Here's what to expect today. Real stories from our own reviews, natural phrases we actually used, and short role-play moments. We'll keep it practical. What we said, why we said it, and what changed after the meeting.
As you listen, notice any phrase that feels useful. Maybe, "Could we clarify expectations?" Or, "Let's align on the goal." If a line clicks, save it to your notes so you can try it later in your own words.
Quick recap so far. Strengths, areas to improve, metric or KPI, clarify, action plan, constructive feedback, and a follow-up. A follow-up is a later check-in to see progress and adjust the plan.
And remember, our theme is growth. Reviews aren't a test, they're a conversation. You can be honest and still be professional. Simple language works. Clear beats fancy every time.
Also, no scary boss music today. We're keeping things human. If you prepare a few examples and one solid goal, you're already ahead.
That reminds me of a messy review I had. Unexpected feedback, tight deadlines, and a project that almost failed. Until I reframed the goal. I'll share that in a minute.
Stick around, and if this episode helps you, share it with a friend who has a review coming up. Little tips can make a big difference.
Okay, deep breath. Let's dive in and make your next review clearer, kinder, and more successful.
I keep thinking about a review early in my career. We had a website project, and I didn't clarify the scope at the start. Scope just means what is included and what is not. New features kept appearing, the timeline slipped, and the review felt tense. I walked in worried and a little confused about how to explain what happened.
So, when the meeting started, what did you say first? I'm curious how you opened that conversation.
I owned it. I said, "I missed the deadline because we added features without adjusting time." Then I explained the trade-off. If we add more, something else must move. Trade-off means you gain one thing and give up another. I asked, "Can we align on the scope from now on and set one clear weekly check-in?"
That reminds me of a review where I did well, but my wins sounded vague. I said I helped the team, but I didn't connect it to numbers. After that, I always bring metrics. KPIs, key performance indicators, are just the top numbers that show success, like customer satisfaction or delivery time.
Do you have a favorite example where the numbers made the difference?
Sure, I showed that our onboarding time dropped by 30% after I built a new checklist. A teammate said, "New hires feel ready by day 3." That quote was evidence, proof that the change worked. When my manager heard the number and the story together, it felt real.
I had a different challenge. My manager said, be more proactive, which is vague. Proactive means you act early instead of waiting. I asked for examples and impact. He said, bring solutions, not just problems. So I started arriving with 2 options and a quick risk note for each.
What changed after you did that? Did the next review feel different?
A lot. We agreed on actions, weekly check-ins, draft proposals before meetings, and a 2-day response time on blockers. We set clear deliverables, specific results like send the client brief by Friday. I sent a recap email the same day so expectations were written down.
Quick recap. Clarify scope, link wins to metrics, ask for examples when feedback is vague, and turn ideas into an action plan with owners and dates. Align simply means agree on the same direction. When both people see the same picture, execution gets easier.
One small tip: keep a wins folder. Save client notes, dashboards, and before-after screenshots. When the review comes, you're ready, and you can schedule a follow-up right there to check progress.
Speaking of strengths, next I want to dig into how to present them without sounding like you're bragging. Clear phrases, simple stories, and numbers that speak for you.
Speaking of strengths, here's what finally worked for me in reviews. I stopped listing random tasks and started telling one short, clear story with a result. I said, a strength I bring is simplifying complex information. Then I showed evidence, proof, like this. I rebuilt our Help Center page into plain language, and in 6 weeks, our average response time dropped 22%. That number didn't make me sound like I was bragging. It made the impact easy to see.
I like that you led with a strength and then anchored it in a result. How did you keep it short in the moment when there's so much you could say?
I used a simple flow: situation, action, result. I told my manager, we had rising support tickets. I created a quick start guide and added tooltips. Tickets about basic setup fell by 35% in a month. And I paused. Result just means the outcome, what changed. The pause lets the number land, and it invites a question instead of a speech from me.
A story that worked for me was about handovers. New projects kept getting stuck between teams. I said, one strength is coordination. Then I showed evidence. I designed a handover checklist with due dates and owners, and handover delays dropped from 5 days to 2. A teammate told me, we finally know who does what. That quote was extra proof the change mattered to people, not just metrics.
What if your role is new and you don't have clean numbers yet? That can feel tricky.
I've been there. I used proxy signs, small signals. I counted fewer back-and-forth emails, faster meeting decisions, and one client note saying, this was clear. I also compared to a benchmark, our average last quarter. Quantify just means put a number on the change, even a simple one like 2 fewer steps or 1 day saved.
In one review, I said, I bring calm under pressure. Then I backed it up. During a launch issue, I coordinated 3 teams and restored the service in 28 minutes, down from our usual 45. I finished with the outcome for others. No orders were lost. That kept the focus on value, not just me.
Another angle is stakeholders, the people who care about the result. I told my manager, design loved the new feedback loop. Support said calls were shorter. Align means we're moving in the same direction. When different teams feel the benefit, your strength sounds bigger than a personal win.
Quick recap. Choose 2 or 3 real strengths. Give one clear story each, add a number, and include the outcome for users or teammates. Evidence can be data, a quote, or a before-after example. Keep the language simple and let the result speak.
And keep the tone humble. I like to start with, I'm proud of, or I'm glad this helped, and then credit the team. When I said, this worked because QA flagged issues early, it showed collaboration, not solo heroics.
Let's dig a little deeper next into talking about improvement areas without losing confidence. Polite language, clear boundaries, and asking for the right support. When improvement topics come up, I stay calm. In one review I heard, "Your handoffs take too long." I wanted to defend myself, but I paused and asked for one clear example.
That pause matters. I once heard, decide faster. I said, could we look at last month's launch? We walked through the timeline together and found 3 blockers I couldn't see during the rush.
With the example, I used facts. The delay happened because approvals were unclear. Then I proposed support, a checklist, and a single owner. Owner means the person responsible for moving the task.
Polite language kept me open. I said, I see your point, and I'd like to improve this. Then I asked, what would good look like next quarter? That turned criticism into a clear target.
Speaking of targets, we set a measurable one. Reduce handoff time from 5 days to 2. We scheduled a follow-up in 4 weeks. Follow-up is a later check-in to confirm progress.
I bring a small menu of support: bandwidth, training, and tools. Bandwidth means time and energy. I told my manager, if I drop one low-priority task, I can attend the reporting workshop and upskill.
Upskill simply means learn a new ability. In another review, I asked for mentorship for 30 minutes weekly. A mentor shared templates, and my drafting time dropped by half without extra overtime.
Sometimes improvement is about boundaries. I said, to meet the deadline, we need to freeze scope on Wednesday. Freeze scope means stop adding new features. That boundary protected the plan and my focus.
There was a moment I handled badly. I interrupted and started listing excuses. After the meeting, I sent a recap email: cause, action, deadline. The recap calmed things and showed accountability.
That reminds me, naming constraints can sound professional, not negative. Constraint means a limit, like 2 developers or a fixed launch date. When we name it, we can agree on a trade-off.
Trade-off is choosing one benefit over another. In my case, we reduced custom design so we could hit the release date. I said, I'm okay with simpler visuals if we meet the promise.
Quick recap. Stay calm. Ask for examples. Define what good looks like. Set a metric. Name constraints and request support: training, time, tools, or mentorship. Clear tone beats defensive tone.
When goals feel fuzzy, progress feels random. What helped me was setting SMART goals for the next quarter, so I knew exactly what good looked like and how we would measure it week by week.
SMART means specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. Specific is a clear task, measurable is a number, achievable is realistic, relevant matches team priorities, and time-bound has a deadline. I like writing it as one clean sentence.
We used it on our support inbox. The old goal was just be faster. I told my manager, cut average first reply time from 12 hours to 6 by June 30. We added an owner, me, and a backup, Sarah, so responsibility was clear.
How did you decide on 6 hours? That number matters. Did you look at a baseline first? Baseline just means where you're starting from.
Exactly. Our baseline was 12 hours last quarter, and our best week was 8. So 6 was a stretch, but still realistic. We also defined success as 80% of tickets under 6 hours, so one outlier didn't break the goal.
Relevance helped me last quarter. Our company cared about keeping customers, so I tied my goal to that. I asked to drop a low-impact report and use those hours for support training. Relevance simply means the goal serves the bigger mission.
We also set an achievable target and a stretch goal. Achievable was 6 hours. The stretch was 4 for the top product line. Ambitious, not promised. A stretch goal is a tougher, great if we hit it target.
How did you track progress without waiting until the end of the quarter? I like checking signals early.
We used leading and lagging indicators. Leading indicators were daily open tickets and the number of saved replies created. Lagging indicators were monthly average reply time and customer satisfaction. Our cadence, regular rhythm, was a weekly check-in every Monday.
I broke mine into milestones. By week 2, draft 10 reply templates. By week 4, publish the Help Center update. Each milestone had one owner, so decisions were quick. Milestone means a key step on the path to the goal.
To stay aligned, I asked, does this target still match our Q2 priorities if ticket volume spikes? We added a small buffer, extra time, and an escalation rule so another team helped if queues grew too fast.
Quick recap. Make the goal SMART. Pick a baseline and a clear target. Assign an owner and backup. Set milestones, and choose both leading and lagging indicators with a weekly cadence. Keep language simple, and link it to the bigger mission.
Next up, let's dig into handling feedback and follow-ups, how to adjust goals mid-quarter without losing momentum, and how to close the loop so progress turns into real results. After one review, I got mixed feedback. Some good, some tough. I thanked my manager and asked, which change should come first? Then I set a follow-up for 2 weeks. Follow-up just means a later check-in to confirm progress. I made a 1-page plan, 3 actions, 1 owner, 1 date. Seeing it on a single page calmed me and made the next steps real.
I had a similar moment about email tone. My manager said the content was fine, but the tone felt sharp when deadlines were close. I built a small template, greeting, context, request, thanks, and asked a teammate to review 2 emails a week. That mini audit, quick check, helped me catch phrases that sounded cold.
Speaking of that, I once got opposite feedback from 2 stakeholders. One wanted more detail, another wanted fewer updates. I asked for a short sync with both. A sync is a quick meeting to align. We agreed on a weekly summary plus a deeper doc only when the project changed.
After that meeting, what did you send? I'm guessing you captured the decisions.
Exactly. I sent a recap email the same day. Decisions at the top, then tasks with an owner and a deadline. I ended with, I'll update the dashboard by Friday and confirm Monday. Close the loop means finish the action and tell people it's done. That phrase builds trust fast.
My rhythm is simple. I block 15 minutes every Thursday to review feedback notes and tick off 1 action. Rhythm, or cadence, means a regular pattern. That small habit kept me moving, even during busy weeks.
For tough feedback, I keep 1 sentence ready. Thanks for the direct feedback. Here's what I'll change by Friday. Direct means clear and honest. When I wrote that, the conversation shifted from blame to action. Actionable just means something you can do now.
What about when goals change mid-quarter? It happens, and it can feel chaotic.
I keep a change log, brief notes of what changed, why, and the impact. Then I re-baseline the target. Re-baseline means set a new starting point so progress is measured fairly. I always get written confirmation so the metric doesn't move in secret.
I also ask, what does success look like now? That question saved me last quarter. We cut a feature and doubled quality checks instead. The new success metric became 0 critical bugs rather than ship all features.
One more tip. Schedule the next follow-up before you end the review. I like same time in 2 weeks. When the time is on the calendar, progress feels expected, not optional.
Quick recap. Thank the person. Prioritize one change. Set a follow-up. Send a recap. And keep a steady cadence. Use a sync when feedback conflicts. Rebaseline if goals shift. And close the loop so everyone knows the result.
Up next, let's turn these agreements into real momentum. Who does what this week, which risks to watch, and how to celebrate small wins without losing focus. After all this, take a breath. You did the work. In a review, confidence is calm plus preparation. I like to walk in with one page, strengths, one improvement, one goal, and the next follow-up.
My final advice is simple. Make your message easy to hear. I prepare 3 proof points, not 10. For example, 1 number, 1 short quote, 1 before-after. Clear beats fancy, every single time.
For clarity, I keep a tiny toolkit. Owner, deadline, metric. Owner is who's responsible. Deadline is when. Metric is how we measure. When those 3 are named, the plan usually moves by itself.
Speaking of moving, small rituals help. I arrive 5 minutes early, drink water, and check my notes once. I also bring a wins folder on my phone in case I forget a detail.
If nerves show up, I slow down my first sentence and smile. Silence is not a mistake. It's thinking time. A short pause makes your message stronger and keeps the tone friendly.
When you hear tough feedback, thank the person and confirm the target. I say, "Thanks for the direct feedback. Here's what I'll change by Friday." Then I write a quick recap so everyone sees the plan.
For practice this week, record a 30-second strength story with one result. Share it with a buddy, ask for one note, and record it again. Small repetitions build confidence fast.
Next, set one SMART goal for the next quarter. Pick a baseline, a target, and the first milestone. Put a 10-minute check-in on Mondays. That tiny calendar habit turns goals into steady action.
Quick recap. Show strengths with evidence, describe one improvement with support, set SMART goals with an owner and date, and keep a weekly cadence. Keep language simple, stay kind, and let numbers and outcomes do the talking.
If today helped, pass it to a friend and hit follow so you don't miss the next episode. We're cheering for your next review. Clear, calm, and confident. See you soon.